I feel that my process of waking up and expanding consciousness is slow. I perceive it as slow. Slowly, slowly comes expansion, and then comes the avalanche of the old patterns. I heard you saying that once we start emptying, it's like really fast, the process, like emptying a bathtub. Speed process versus slow process.
You know, for me, I don't know anything faster than this. Because I know so many people that do so many things and they don't have an experience of permanent consciousness, no? Not even close. And the thing is, you're comparing. You have an expectation. But what is that? It's just an idea in your head. So the first thing you have to kill is the thoughts that are like that, and replace them with facets. Because this doesn't talk. This talks. So you take this into here. But obviously, you're comparing. You can go as fast as you want, but it's in each moment. You know, you can unify for 3 hours a day, and you'll be moving a lot of stress, and you'll be thinking, oh, I'm moving so much stress. Of course, because you're healing very quickly. The physical stress, it leaves very quickly. Very quickly. 11 months, 1 hour a day, a couple of megas, ciao. You know, you're basically empty. Okay, but the programs, they need a witness. Yeah? They need something bigger. And that is your consciousness. You need to be present and keep going back into the consciousness. Because when you're here, you're blind. And then you say, oh, I thought I was more conscious. What's the thoughts got to do with being conscious? The only thing to do with consciousness is the depth of your being. That energy. Now, if you close your eyes at any moment of the day, what happens? You connect, no? You have no problem connecting. None. I can see that looking at you. You have an experience. Okay, so the next question is, what are you choosing? The critique or that? Don't listen to this. It's rubbish. You have an experience of consciousness. Be there. If you repeat an old pattern, oh, I did it again. Well, you've been doing it since you were this big. It's a habit. But at least you know you have it. But do you be violent? No. You go, oh, I did it again. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here now. So it's not about fast or slow. There's no hurry. This is you. It's not going anywhere. And see the expectation. What are you expecting? Well, you want to walk on water? Or? Better if you go slow then, you know? Don't want to go too fast. Take time. Just be gentle with yourself. This is the secret, no? To be gentle with yourself. Good.
¿Podrías hablarnos, por favor, sobre la diferencia entre
Can you talk about the difference in between resignation that suffers to the acceptance and the surrender that is more joyful in front of the loss of a family member?
Oh, that's a bit different, no? If you lose a family member, or someone you love, that's very close to you, there's a process. Firstly, there's a negation. Because you don't want. Even though it's not conscious. There's an aspect that's still holding on, no? You don't just go, oh, well, I'm going to surrender, I'm happy now. There's a process. It might be a day, it might be a week, it might be 6 months, it might be 12 months. It depends on the person. A person that's very conscious can let go pretty quick, no? Because they have an extreme trust. And they don't see death in that way. But for normal people, you have to grieve. And then you let go. And then you find joy. Because you find them internally. Because you are that person. And there will be a joy. There won't be a missing. And that's not acceptance. It's like you've absorbed that. You've absorbed them within you. Okay, and this is what happens. But the initial response is of grieving. You think if Annie dropped dead tomorrow, I'd go, oh, well, you know. Oh, boy, no, I've got another translator. But where's Parvati? Come and translate. Annie's dead. No. I'd cry for at least a day. You understand what I'm saying? It's not, we're humans. We love, we get used to things. Yes? And it's a process to let go. Yeah? So be gentle with the process. Don't start getting spiritual and complicated. Like having these expectations. Like now you're superhuman. You know, people that have consciousness are very connected and very emotional. You know, they feel profoundly. They might not be suffering, but they feel. They don't walk around like this. It's not like that. Yeah?
Hola, Isha.
Hello.
It's a crybaby. I'm a river.
Tengo una pregunta. ¿Cuál es tu opinión y qué piensas
What's your opinion on hallucinogenic substance like mushrooms, ayahuasca in Peru, to confront the fears and the guilt, like a shortcut?
There's no such thing.
No existe eso.
Because it's not real.
O sea, no es real.
You know, if you're going to heal something,
Si vas a sanar algo,
you have to connect.
tienes que conectar.
You know, if every hippie
Si cada hippie
of the 60s
de los 60
took hongos and ayahuasca and
hubiera
trips
tomado los hongos y el LSD,
and all those
ayahuasca
things,
y todas
how
esas
come they're
cosas,
not all enlightened?
¿cómo es que no están todos iluminados?
They did it for 5 years.
Porque lo hicieron por lo menos por unos
5
cuantos años.
años.
5 años.
It's not real.
No es real.
You know, they say, oh, this medicine.
Oh, esto es medicina.
What's the difference between that and acid?
¿Qué es la diferencia entre eso y un ácido?
Nada.
Nada.
It's the same thing.
Es la misma cosa.
Because it's opening your
Porque
brain.
lo que hace es que te activa el cerebro en alguna
Yeah, it might
parte.
give you an
Tal
idea
vez
or
te da una idea
whatever.
o lo que sea.
But ultimately,
Pero en última
You have to be real.
Tienes que ser real.
You have to be here.
Tienes que estar aquí.
You have to be connected.
Tienes que estar conectado.
You have to do it naturally
Tienes que hacerlo en forma natural.
by going in.
Yendo hacia adentro.
Sure, you can have an
Claro,
experience,
seguro que puedes tener una experiencia,
but is it real?
pero va a ser real.
No, it's exalted.
No, es
It's
exaltada.
extreme.
Es extrema.
Personally,
Personalmente.
I don't have a judgment with
No,
it,
no es que tengo juicio con eso,
but I don't think it works.
pero no creo que funcione.
It's just another addiction.
Es solo como otra adicción.
It's like saying I used to be timid,
Es como decir, yo solía ser tímido,
but now I'm an alcoholic
pero ahora soy alcohólico.
and I'm happy.
Y estoy súper
I'm the life of the party.
soy la vida de la fiesta.
You know, am I cured?
¿Me curé?
No, I'm just a
No,
drunk.
Solo me emborraché.
You know, for me it's the same thing.
Para mí es la misma cosa.
I don't know what everyone here thinks,
No
but
sé lo que todos los demás piensan, pero bueno.
you know, it's not that you're asking me. That's what I think.
Como me estás preguntando a mí, eso es lo que yo pienso.
That's what I think.
Eso es lo que pienso.
Is there something wrong with doing
¿Hay
it?
algo malo con hacer eso?
No.
No.
You can do what you want,
Puedes hacer todo lo que
but
quieras.
it's not going to change your life.
Pero no va a cambiar tu vida.
Huh? It won't change your life.
No va a cambiar tu
Not
vida.
in a deep level.
No en un nivel profundo.
No.
Ah.
Yo fui activista político
I was a
durante la dictadura en
politic activist during the dictator in Chile.
Chile. Les voy a contar un acontecimiento que tuve
Something
el
that
último que tuve, que fue el más terrible.
the last one
Y les
event
quiero
I
decir
had
que
that
yo
was the
los
most
tengo
terrible.
ya reparados,
And I want to say that I repaired, don't get scared of that. I live a process that it was very strong. I did the therapy of it and I embraced it. I can tell it.
Como yo estuve varias veces
I
preso,
was several
fui
times
torturado,
in jail and I was tortured.
Y después,
And
en un
afterwards,
momento,
in a
la
moment,
Central Nacional de Informaciones, CNI en ese momento, que
the
era,
military,
la unidad que se preocupaba de la
the
inteligencia y de
unit,
todos
the
los
unit
temas de
doing
aparato,
intelligence and all the
de
things
tortura,
of
de
the torture and
persecución,
persecution and
y ese
kidnappings
cuestión,
and things. They kidnapped
después de
me
una actividad política.
after an activity, a political activity.
Me echó un auto, me encañonaron, me metieron en
And
un
they
auto,
put me in a car,
me acostaron
pointed
debajo
with
de
a-
un compañero que estaba
they
ahí, entre los
put
dos
me
asientos.
lying underneath the companion that was there in between the two
Mi
seats.
compañero tiritaba mucho.
My
teníamos
companion
mucho
was
tenía
shaking.
27
I was
años,
27
ahora
years
tengo
old.
60.
I'm 60 now.
O sea, pasó hace 30 años.
30 years
Así que-
ago passed long ago.
Pero aquí descubrí algo
But here I
que no sé
discovered
qué
something
opinas tú,
that
pero
I don't know
pensar de
what
mi
you think or
descubrimiento.
what you will think
Que
about
cuando
my
yo estaba
discovery.
ahí,
That when I was
sabía
there,
que me iban a matar,
I knew they were going to kill me
porque eran los acontecimientos que
because it
ocurrían
was
en ese
what
momento,
was
habían
happening in
ocurrido
that
otros
moment.
antes muy similares
There were
y
many similar
los
before,
habían ametrallado a las personas.
and they killed the people that they took.
Entonces yo
So
dije aquí
I
me
said,
van a matar, aquí
here,
terminó,
here it finished.
yo luché por esto,
I
y
fought
peleé
for
por
this and I will have to die.
pero con mucho miedo a la vez.
Te rendiste, te entregaste,
Sí,
yes.
pero lo que me pasó
But
era
what
muy
happened
especial,
was
que,
special.
me sumí, me metí
I got
en la
into
textura y en las
the
líneas que tenía el
texture
tapiz,
and the
del auto,
lines of the car
¿no?
material seat.
Un detalle así,
Like
y-
I got into a
y
detail
entonces me empecé a despedir de mi
and I
gente.
started
Yo no creo
giving,
en
saying
Dios, me di
goodbye to
cuenta
my
que
people. I didn't believe in
efectivamente,
God,
de verdad, no creía en Dios,
but
porque
yes,
dije acá,
I
me fui
didn't,
hacia mí.
I didn't believe in God
Y-
there,
y en
but
esas
I went
rayitas
towards
del
me.
tapiz, de los-
And those
del
lines
vehículo,
of
me
the
fui hacia
seat,
mí y
I was
empecé a
going towards
sentir
myself and I
que-
started
que
feeling
había entre el miedo, pero
that
había una
in
especie de
between the
paz
fear,
¿ya?
I
Y-
was a kind of
y
peace.
lo viví.
And I
con la
experienced with death.
Después de eso dije,
After that, I
empecé a
said,
pensar cómo
I
iban a
started
ser las
thinking
balas, pero
how were going to
tranquilamente,
be the
cómo se iban a
shots,
meter en mi cuerpo.
the bullets, how they were going to enter my
Mi
body.
pregunta o mi duda
And my
o
question
es,
or my doubt
en
is,
ese momento,
in
con la
that
muerte,
moment with death,
parece, ahora yo me di cuenta
seems
que
now I see,
yo
I
tuve
saw
un momento
here
de paz
that I had a moment of peace
cuando estaba con la muerte ahí
when I
encima.
was with death on
¿Tendrá
top
que
of me.
ver algo de llegar a ese momento
Do you think
de paz
is
con
related
morir? O sea,
to death
simbólicamente,
symbolically?
No sé si me explico.
I don't know if I
You know, the thing is, you surrendered your life.
La cosa es que tú rendiste tu vida, la
You let go of
entregaste,
your attachment.
soltaste todos tus apegos.
So you found that
Así
unity.
que encontraste esa unidad
You found
interna.
something much bigger,
Encontraste algo mucho mayor,
where there was no fear.
donde no había miedo.
You could call it God,
Lo puedes llamar Dios,
you could call it
lo
whatever.
puedes llamar como quieras.
But in that moment,
Pero en ese momento,
your fear left.
tu miedo se fue.
And when I talk about expanding consciousness to such a
Cuando
point,
yo hablo de expandir la conciencia hasta tal punto,
I'm talking about living in that experience.
estoy hablando del vivir en esa experiencia.
You had an experience.
Tú tuviste una experiencia,
I don't know how much of it you sustained,
no sé por cuánto tiempo la sostuviste, la experimentaste.
but that's what I'm talking about.
Pero
Yeah.
de esa experiencia es la que yo hablo. Sí.
Because in one moment you found the greatness of who you are,
Tú encontraste la grandeza de quién eres.
and that's when you let go.
Y ahí fue cuando soltaste.
And that's a beautiful moment,
Es
no?
un momento hermoso ese,
In such a severe
en
circumstance.
circunstancias tan severas, ¿no?
Yeah. And I'm sure it gave you a lot of security in your life
Y
too.
estoy segura que eso te dio un montón de seguridad en tu vida.
Yeah, there's a point where you have an advantage through that
Hay un punto en el que lograste una ventaja a través de esa experiencia,
because you have a certain amount of trust
porque tú tienes un determinado nivel de confianza
now.
ahora.
Hmm? Great.
Qué bueno.
Yeah. Horrible what humans do, no?
Tremendo lo que hacen los seres humanos.
Just shocking.
Choqueante.
Shocking. You know, we hear about all the time,
Escuchamos eso todo el tiempo,
but people that have actually experienced it, it's shocking.
pero para las personas que lo experimentaron es algo choqueante.
What we do to each other
Lo que nos hacemos el uno al otro
over an idea.
a través de una idea, ¿no? Por
Just
una
an
idea.
idea.
Solo por una idea.
A need to control each other.
La necesidad de controlarnos el uno al otro.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Quería preguntar lo siguiente.
I want to ask you.
La creatividad viene de la conciencia. de la mente, o
Creativity
de la
comes from the
mezcla de los dos?
consciousness, from the mind, or the combination
That
of both?
pure creativity
Esa creatividad pura
comes from the heart.
viene del corazón.
Like the idea.
La
It
idea
goes, boom.
que va así.
And then I think we polish it with our heads.
Después me parece que la pulimos con nuestra mente.
But initially,
Pero
yes,
al principio
it comes
sí,
from the heart,
viene del corazón,
of course.
por supuesto.
Gracias.
My questions today are, first, how did you receive the facets? And second, how and or why these words and not other ones can
Estas palabras y no otras
can be so powerful
que pueden ser tan poderosas
in the process of healing?
en el proceso de sanación.
Thanks.
So the facets,
Facetas,
I am the facets.
yo soy las facetas.
The words
Las palabras
are my experience.
son mi experiencia.
It's the experience of unified
Es la
consciousness.
experiencia de conciencia unificada.
And that's why it's a bit strange.
Y por eso tal vez es un poquito extraño.
Firstly,
Primero,
the word perfection.
la palabra perfección.
Praise, love, and gratitude
Alabanza, amor y gratitud
and
y
unity
unidad
are easy for people to
son más
understand.
fáciles de entender para las
Not
personas.
necessarily easy for people to do,
No necesariamente fáciles de hacer,
but it's the nature of love.
pero es la naturaleza.
It's
del
how the
amor.
whole universe vibrates
Es como vibra todo el universo.
in praise, love, gratitude, and
En
unity.
alabanza, amor, gratitud y unidad.
Everything that exists
Todo lo que existe
exists for unity.
existe para la unidad.
Everything that
Todo
happens
lo que sucede
on all aspects of
todos
creation
los aspectos de la creación
is sustaining other aspects of
está
creation.
sosteniendo otros aspectos de la creación.
Be it the planet, be it
Sea
nature,
el
be it
planeta, la
humans.
naturaleza, sean los humanos.
Everything's one.
Todo es uno.
Everything.
Todo.
And it's perfect
Y es perfecto
because it's illusionary.
porque es ilusorio.
It's the perfection
Es la
of
perfección
the human
de la
experience.
experiencia humana.
But it's truly energy.
Pero en verdad es energía.
So the facets,
Así que las facetas,
all of the facets,
todas las facetas,
are the experience of enlightenment.
son la experiencia de la iluminación.
And other words
En otras palabras,
that fit the head
que encajan en la cabeza,
don't vibrate in the same frequency.
no vibran en la misma frecuencia.
You know, you can pray,
Tú puedes orar,
but it's an external thing.
pero es una cosa hacia lo externo.
And great if you pray. But it's always external.
Pero siempre va hacia lo externo.
This is absolutely internal.
Esto es absolutamente interno.
So that the internal
Para que el interno
can unify with the
se
external
puede unificar con lo externo.
through elevation of
A
consciousness.
través de la elevación de la conciencia.
So yes, I am the facets. It's my experience.
Es mi experiencia.
And if you change the words,
Y si cambias las palabras,
it's no longer a facet.
no es ya una faceta.
It's like, praise, love and gratitude.
Alabanza,
Sure.
amor, gratitud.
You'll become the actions of that.
Te vas a transformar en las acciones de eso.
And you'll see as you get more
Y
facets
también vas a ver a medida que vas teniendo más
that they're all
facetas,
experiences of
como
enlightenment.
todas son experiencias de iluminación.
Mira, mi pregunta es, yo quiero seguir expandiendo mi
My
conciencia.
question is, I want to continue expanding my consciousness,
Y tengo mi duda si...
and I
lo que pasa es
doubt
que dicen que uno tiene que tener la intención de querer
it's
hacer
said
6
that
meses,
we
no
have to
sé
have the
qué,
intention
y
doing the
todo
6
se va a dar y todo
months
eso,
and
pero a veces
everything
hay que arreglar
will
muchas
happen,
cosas
but sometimes it's to
para
fix too
hacerlas.
many things to do.
Entonces, yo quería saber
So
si
I
uno
want to know if
no hace los 6 meses,
we don't
no
do
puede
the
avanzar
6
en su
months.
casa
Cannot move
rápido.
forward in your house very fast.
Okay, so I'll tell you something.
Te voy a decir algo.
If you're cooking,
Si estás cocinando
and say you're making a vegetable soup,
o haciendo una sopa de vegetales,
and you go to the
por
market,
ejemplo, vas al supermercado,
and you pick all the
y vas
vegetables,
agarrando todos los
and you
vegetales,
look at them, and you smell them, oh yes, this is good, this is not, ta 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 ta, and you take it home,
lo llevas a casa,
and you cut it
y lo cortas,
very nicely,
lindo,
and you put it in the soup,
lo pones en la sopa,
and you put
en
it there
el
for a
agua,
certain period of
y por un
time,
cierto periodo de tiempo,
and you taste it, and you add a bit of salt and a bit of pepper and half a packet of Tabasco,
medio paquete de tabasco.
and by the time you finish,
Para el momento que terminaste,
it's spectacular, no?
está espectacular.
It's a spectacular soup.
Es una sopa
Maybe you're going to rev it in the machine, but and it's cream,
y va a ser cremosa.
but it's really chévere, no? It's the best.
La mejor.
Or
O
you go to the drawer,
te vas al cajón,
you get one of those quick soups,
agarras una sopa rápida,
you put it in,
la pones ahí,
you
agua,
stir it, you drink it, you say, oh, well, it was 60 calories.
bueno, 60 calorías.
What tastes better?
¿Qué es lo que vas a ver mejor?
Which one are you going to enjoy the most?
¿Cuál de las dos vas a disfrutar más?
This soup
¿Esta sopa
or the quick soup?
o la rápida?
Answer the question.
Respóndeme.
This one. Really? So you don't want to go fast?
Entonces no quieres ir rápido.
Because I prefer the other one.
Porque yo prefiero la otra.
This has no relevance to your question.
Esto realmente no tiene ninguna relevancia, ninguna importancia respecto a tu pregunta.
Oh, it's a trick.
Fue un truco, ¿viste?
And what you're saying is a trick
Y
too.
lo que estás diciendo tú es un truco también.
Because you know
Porque tú sabes
that if you really,
que
really
si de verdad
want to get the best of yourself,
quieres abrazar lo mejor de ti,
you have to focus 100%.
vas a tener que enfocarte un 100%.
And yes, if you do it at
Y
home,
sí, si lo haces en casa,
you are going to grow.
vas a crecer,
Sin duda.
sin duda.
And you can.
Y puedes.
But there's a part of you
Pero hay una parte tuya
that knows
que sabe
that you need to give yourself
que necesitas dar
100%
un 100% a ti mismo
at one moment in
en
your
algún
life.
momento de tu vida.
And that's why you're getting emotional, because you know it's true.
Emocional con esto, porque sabes que es verdad.
I don't need to tell you,
No necesito yo decir.
and you don't need to ask me.
Y tampoco necesitas preguntar.
You know the answer.
Tú sabes la respuesta.
And if you don't,
Y si no,
Nora will tell you.
Nora te va a decir.
See how you nearly cry?
¿Viste cómo casi lloras?
Because you know.
Porque sabes.
You know, if you have this idea, I want to do the 6
Si
months,
tú tienes esta idea, quiero hacer los 6
and
meses.
it's not for another year and a half, no?
Además, no va a suceder por otro año y medio más o menos.
If you have that
Pero
desire,
si tienes ese deseo,
you know.
sabes.
It's not because you should,
No es porque lo tienes que hacer.
it's because you know.
Es porque
I
sabes.
need to do that.
Necesitas
There's
hacer eso.
80 people here
Hay 80 personas
that wouldn't
aquí
even dream of doing 6 months.
que jamás hubieran soñado hacer 6 meses.
But you know,
Pero tú sí sabes.
you want.
Tú quieres.
So don't compromise.
Así que no transijas ahí.
You know, if you want a pair of Gucci shoes,
Si quieres un par de zapatos Gucci,
don't go and buy the piratas in the esquina.
no vayas
No?
a comprar los zapatos piratas en la esquina.
You know, you save,
Vas a ir ahorrando
and finally you get your
y al
shoes.
final vas a tener tus zapatos.
Ah. There's good examples, no?
Qué buenos ejemplos.
I don't even cook.
Yo ni siquiera cocino.
I'm very happy with myself.
Estoy muy contenta conmigo.
Yes.
Bueno, mi pregunta es
My
sobre
question is,
cómo yo manejo
how
mi vida, no sé.
can I handle
De
my
repente
life?
siento enojo y
Maybe I'm angry.
en el último tiempo noté una diferencia muy grande.
Lately,
que
I
por ahí
notice a big
siento
difference.
el enojo
That I feel
con algo
angry
que pasa,
with something that happens,
siento y
I feel,
se va.
yeah, and
Y
it
por
goes.
ahí ya no necesito,
And
o no
maybe
siento la necesidad de expresar.
I
y
don't
todo,
need have the need to express and to
y no
move.
sé si
And I
bueno,
don't
eso me pasa
know.
también con miedos.
It happens with fears also.
Y me queda la duda de si,
And I'm doubting
si me
if
estaré escapando.
I'm
de
not
ese
running
sentimiento.
away.
You've
Has
changed.
cambiado.
It's quick.
Es rápido.
What did you do 6 months for? So nothing changed?
¿Para qué hiciste los 6 meses? Para que nada cambiara.
It's quick.
It continues changing.
Of course. You keep evolving.
Vas a seguir evolucionando.
But now you have a good experience,
Pero ahora
no?
ya tienes una buena
And you know how to let go in the
y
moment.
sabes cómo soltar en el momento.
It's not that you don't need to suffer ever again.
No necesitas volver a sufrir, mano.
The only time you suffer is when you start questioning.
El único momento que te pones a sufrir es cuando empiezas a cuestionar.
You don't need to do anything else.
Porque no necesitas hacer.
I live like that.
Yo vivo así.
In the moment,
En el momento.
new moment.
Un momento nuevo.
That's how you have to live.
Es así como
And
que
it's
vivir,
perfect.
y es perfecto.
And yes, you can have a feeling,
Y sí, claro que vas a tener un
but
sentido.
it's gone.
Pero pasa.
And quicker, huh?
Y cada vez más rápido.
It will almost not leave your mouth.
Casi no terminas de decirlo.
Yeah, it will just be gone. You go,
Se
oh
va.
yeah, where did that go? What happened to that? It's like that. It's like that. I feel so. Oh, it's gone. It's like that.
Es así.
Because you just drop it.
Porque simplemente lo vas soltando.
And it'll get faster and
Y va a
faster.
ir pasando más y más rápido.
I promise.
Les prometo.
And not because you're stuffing.
Y no porque te lo estés guardando.
It's because it's not there.
Sino porque no está ahí.
Hello, my love.
Hola, mi amor.
How nice to have you back.
Lindo tenerte de vuelta. Párate.
Obvio.
Mira la cámara. Con toda tu sonrisa.
El último tiempo
Lately,
he estado como muy movida.
I've been very moved.
Terminé con mi pareja.
I finished with
The
my
little chubby
pololo,
boy.
con el gordito. Oh, adorable.
Tuve dos accidentes muy seguidos.
And I had 2 accidents,
Y
very, very close to each
en el
other
trabajo.
at work.
Entonces, estaba como, yo siento que
I
como
had
gato,
been
cuando
like a
viste que
cat.
los gatos se ponen así.
You see, when the cat is scared, gets like that, I feel like that. Somebody talks to me
Y
and
no,
I jump.
no puedo, yo sé que yo digo, chuta.
I know, I
tengo que
said,
observarme, pensar la faceta,
I
pero
have
es
to
como-
observe
y
and
bueno, no sé.
think
Así
the
es el último
facet.
tiempo.
It just happens. I felt like
No me
this
gusta eso.
lately. And I don't like it. And I want to ask.
Quiero
You
volver
know,
a-
you've just
I want
broken
to
up
go
in a
back.
relationship.
Bueno, acabas de terminar con una relación.
You have to give yourself space to feel.
Te tienes que dar espacio para sanar.
No, but you're judging that.
Pero lo estás juzgando.
You just finished with your boyfriend.
Acabas de terminar con tu novio.
You know, he might have been a gordito.
¿Eh?
He was a gordito.
Era un gordito.
But he was dulce and
pero
you
era un
love him.
gordito dulce, ¿no? Y lo querías.
So you have to give space to yourself.
Te tienes que dar espacio.
You've fixed it in your head.
Porque lo acomodaste en tu cabeza.
But it's not like that.
Pero no es así.
And then you're creating drama.
Y después crees drama.
So stop.
Para,
Just connect.
conecta.
Look for support.
Busca apoyo.
Teachers are going to Chile now.
Los maestros van para Chile
You can go and
ahora.
help them.
Puedes ir a ayudarles.
You know, be anchored in
Estate
consciousness.
anclada en la conciencia.
And stop being violent with yourself.
Y deja de ser violenta contigo.
The thing is, you're
La
sensitive.
cosa es que eres extremadamente sensible.
And you think you have to be,
Y piensas que tienes que...
I know I should do this, and I know I should do that, and I know, and I know, and I know. But these are things that have
Pero
happened,
estas son cosas que suceden.
you know. So just feel
Así que simplemente siente
and let go.
y suelta.
And if you can't,
Y si no puedes,
because you're in a blonde drama,
porque estás en un drama de rubia,
ring the teachers.
llama a los maestros.
Oh, I don't have judgments, huh?
No tengo juicio.
I don't know. I'm in a drama. Be sweet with you
Sé dulce contigo.
and appreciate how much you've
Y
changed.
aprecia todo lo que cambiaste.
It's incredible the calm you have.
Es increíble la calma que tienes ahora.
Even when you're saying this, you're so
Incluso aunque estás
calm.
diciendo esto, estás tan calma.
Before, when you're asking questions,
Antes, cuando hacías preguntas,
you used to spit. You'd be like,
hasta escupías.
now you're like
Ahora
calm.
estás calma.
And appreciate that.
Hay que apreciar eso.
Yeah? Gracias.
Gracias.